And 30. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Or Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, if that's what you prefer. So Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the 8th and, well, final film in the Mission Impossible film series. It's a continuation from the events of the previous film, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, or Dead Reckoning Part 1, before it was renamed. So here in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the rogue AI known as the Entity is out there, and it's threatening to launch the world into chaos, and Gabriel still thinks he can take control of it, and so Ethan Hunt and his crew are the world's last hope to take them down.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
This movie being the 8th in a film series like this, and also its swan song, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. It clocks in at 2 hours and 50 minutes just about, and it is jam-packed with content and Tom Cruise. I know at this point we've seen a lot of what he can do, as far as stunts go, as far as acting goes, as far as stunt acting goes. In this movie though, Ethan Hunt's feeling a lot of pressure. He's kind of going against the wishes of the United States government and the president in order to do what he feels is right for the world, morally and ethically. Which, speaking of the president, once again played by Angela Bassett, she's still great. I mean, she spends most of this movie in a room with a couple other dudes, but in those scenes, man, it's intense. I'll get to that a little later. Hayley Atwell returns as Grace from the previous movie. I wouldn't say her role in this one is as big as her role was in the last one. I mean, she's a key part of the crew. I'm just saying she's not as in the forefront here as she was last time. Still a great character for Hayley Atwell, though. Isai Morales, once again as Gabriel, the villain. He's still pretty uninteresting. I mean, he's a threat, and I think he does have a little more personality this time around than he did last time. He's just not the most interesting point of this movie. And other than that, we got our support crew with some pretty good moments. Ving Rhames as Luther is awesome. Pom Clementieff as Paris. She's got some badass moments. Simon Pegg, of course, as Benji is great. Comic relief without being forced. Really, let's just get right down to it. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I know it's been getting some mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people don't. This is just my 2 cents. This movie goes pretty fucking crazy. I will say, for those of you who may not be in the know when it comes to this series, kind of like me, I haven't watched the last movie since theaters. The Final Reckoning actually does do a pretty good job at catching the audience up. I mean, not just on the previous movie, but of the entire series leading up to this, or at least what's important. The beginning of this movie, it does catch you up to speed, which I really appreciate, which also does get the message across that this is the final mission, should we choose to accept it. So it ups the drama, it ups the intensity, the stunts, they're just as crazy as usual. In this case, the one that the trailers boast the most about is where Tom Cruise is dangling off of a biplane for dear life, and it's pretty nuts. I mean, I don't know if it's as huge as climbing the tallest building in the world, or holding onto a huge plane as it's taking off, but I mean, what can I say? It's crazy to watch, and it's still crazy that Tom Cruise is doing all those stunts himself. You can't not be at least a little bit entertained watching it. It's what these movies are all about. That's why the stunt is first and foremost on the main poster for this movie. And I've heard some people complain that this movie's being too overdramatic, to which I say, no it's not. It's the last movie of the series, so live it up with the epic. Yeah, there are a lot of big dramatic moments in this movie, but that's because this is the send-off of this almost 30-year running series. These Mission Impossible movies, they've been on a roll lately. Pretty much ever since 3, if I'm being honest, which came out in 2006. Ever since then, these movies have been well received. People love these movies. So as this is the last one, we want to feel that. We want to feel this goodbye. Play it up with the drama. I welcome it. I mean, Tom Cruise is now in his 60s, and he's doing crazy stunts like this. I think that deserves to be celebrated in grand fashion. Don't hold anything back. And with all the crazy drama and all the epic comes a lot of suspense as well. Holy shit. There's some crazy nerve-wracking moments in this Mission Impossible movie in particular. Moments where you're like, I don't know if he's gonna make it. I mean, the plane scene, yeah, sure, but more prominently in this case, there's a point where Tom Cruise is at the bottom of the ocean in a submarine. I'd say that's the most intense scene in the movie. Cause man, it's really played up there. He's in a crazy scuba suit, and he's just trying to get this job done while the submarine is slipping, threatening to sink even deeper, and Ethan Hunt only has so much time to do what he needs to do before he runs out of oxygen, and of course shit goes awry, and it's insane. I was biting my nails. The audience around me, I could hear like the gasping during this scene, and of course later scenes in the movie when it's really building up to the climax. People were laughing, people were clapping. It was a good time. Just, this is a summer hit. This is what summer blockbuster movies are all about. Crazy awesome action and intensity and fun scenes like that. The thrills. These Mission Impossible movies of late have always delivered on that, and I say The Final Reckoning is no exception. I will say I don't know if this movie needed to be as long as it was. Coming out of it, I was like, that was a lot of movie, but honestly, I don't know what I would cut out from it. I'll say this movie's not exactly a casual watch though, like other movies in this series have been, like Ghost Protocol, which is still my favorite by the way. I could watch that movie every day all the time. Now this one, like the last one I would agree with, is one where you gotta sit down and invest your time in it. You can't watch it casually. Like you can't have it on in the background while you're doing something else. I mean, you can, but you'd be missing a lot of stuff. It's not really, you wouldn't be watching it at that point. You know what I mean by this. But this movie's got it all. Action, drama, some funny moments, there's humor, but it doesn't compromise the drama, which is very much appreciated. But that being said, there were some pretty funny moments that had us, the audience, laughing out loud. So that's an added bonus. So guys, in the end, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the better of the two big movies that came out this weekend, in my opinion at least. It's fun, it's thrilling, it's intense, it's suspenseful. This is a perfect example of a summer blockbuster, and a fantastic send-off to the Mission Impossible film series. Not my favorite of the franchise, but Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt will surely be missed, as will the Impossible Mission Force. For Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. Of course, I'm sure Tom Cruise ain't done with acting. He's probably gonna be doing movies like this till he's 90. So, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And now that this series is done, what is your favorite Mission Impossible movie of them all? Of all 8 of them? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to go celebrate my 30th birthday with my friends and family. And I hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend. Peace!